Hello friends, welcome. I'm Robin with Simi Simple Designs. If you see the little red live light, you've caught me live. If not, you're watching the replay. Please type in #replay, say hello, tell me where you're watching from. Let me know if you're new so I can welcome you to my page. Always like newbies, but I want to say hello and welcome you. Be sure to do that. So I'm getting myself sprinkled. People are popping in. Say hello. Hi, Mary. Hi, Rose. Hello, Yvonne. Hi, Natalie. Did I make the door? No, I did not make the door. Hi, Laura. Hi, Cheryl. How are you? Thank you for sprinkling. I appreciate that. No, I did not make this door, but isn't it cute? This came from Dollar Tree, and I've had it a while. And it did have this handle on it. It came with, it had a big wreath on it and a welcome on the front of it that I took all off. Hey, Brenda. Thank you. Thank you for sprinkling, guys. I appreciate it. And welcome, guys. This is my segment in the Craft Around the Clock Fun Friday event. And I've been trying to watch everybody. I did miss a few. I did pop in for a few minutes even this morning with Miss Brenda and watched her for a little bit. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Linda. Hi, Colin. Hello, Craft Crazy Company. Hello, guys. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. So everybody's working with cardboard because it's cardboard event today. We're spring cardboard event. So got this door. I sanded it down. It was actually white and blue. I sanded it. I painted it in the color Java, this dark brown, and then I painted again in Milk Jug from Folk Art, and I did a chippy technique on it. Then I took my palette knife, my little palette, paint palette, and I just kind of scraped this moss color on here. And then I added also some of the Tim Holtz crackle paste to give it a real aged rustic look. Hello, Elizabeth. Hello, Mary. Hi, Lori. Hi, Virginia. Guys, thank you for being here. So, I bought a while back these hinges, and my husband dismantled them. And this was the little piece that was left, this little hinge part. And they were originally white, and I just painted them in the Milk Jug and sprinkled some cinnamon on there, kind of give them a aged look. And then I've got this handle that I got from Hobby Lobby that we're going to also add to this door. But we're going to make like a little, thank you for sprinkling. Hi, Irma. Hi, Elizabeth. But we're going to, I've cut out cardboard in the shape of some flowers. And I've got 3 of them here. And then I've also cut out these little bees. And we're going to make like a little floral hanging on our door. I'm going to make the 3 little flowers. We're going to make a little cluster and put a string like it's hanging and add a bow. And then I'm going to add the little bees to it, like a little, you know, in your front door, you add a little decoration for the spring or the summer. Hello from Australia. Hello, Margaret. Thank you for being here. Hi, Michelle. How are you today? So that's why I got wanted to get at least this done. We only have 45 minutes, and of course, you know me, I never finish. No matter how much prep I do, it seems like I never finish. So I'm going to move this to the side for now. I still have something else I'm going to do for it, but I've also cut out some scrapbook paper in these 3 colors, and this scrapbook paper came in one of the Paper Studio books. It's called Theodosia. Hello, Peggy. Hello, Cheryl. I got the door from Dollar Tree. I got the door. It was in the Dollar Tree Plus section. We have a Dollar Tree, and it has like one aisle that has Dollar Tree Plus items, and that's where I found it. But I've had it for a while. I don't know. I haven't seen them in a while, but they may come out with them again this year. I don't know. But we're gonna, I'm gonna Mod Podge on here these prints, and I've cut 2 of them. I've done this before, and I'm gonna Mod Podge one of the prints, this blue. We're gonna Mod Podge it on there real quick. I'll show you what we're gonna do. We're gonna like layer it, is what we're gonna do, and give our little florals a little bit of dimension using craft, paper. So how is everybody? Have you all been watching and seeing all? Boy, Mindy did the cutest little bucket. Was it a bucket? Yeah. Now I gotta figure out how this goes on here again. All right. So we get that Mod Podged on, and I don't think I have it on there quite right, but that's okay. That's okay. It'll be fine. It's a little large, so we can do some sanding, and it'll be fine. It will be fine. So there's that one. And I just kind of found some coordinating prints. Hi, Glenda. Happy Friday to you. So I was telling everybody, I did a reel of my grandson. I was telling some people that were on my live yesterday that my grandson called the other night, and he had just gotten some of those washable markers, and his papa got him to color on himself. And I posted a reel of some of the pictures I got of him with marker on himself. Oh, he had us laughing so hard. I didn't know if you guys saw that. Hello, Gwen. How are you today? All right, so we got that orange. And I picked the orange and the blue because I don't know if you noticed that in this one right here, those 2 colors are in there. And I wanted to kind of coordinate. Right? Did I say that right? Coordinate. Make everything kind of coordinate. I don't know. Match. Go together. He is a character, my little grandson. He is a character. I'm doing good, Gwen. Hi, Sonia. How are you today? Thanks, guys, for being here. Thank you for sprinkling. I appreciate that. All right, I'm gonna just kind of dry these just a little. And I think I'm done with this. Because the way I'm gonna do the other top part, hi Pam. We're going to just kind of glue the center of the flower. And I'll use my hot glue to do that. Oh, how fun. How fun. Well, all of my grandsons are the youngest of the bunch. And they're not into sports yet. And the grandson that calls, he has two sisters that do sports, but we don't get to see because they live in Texas. So I can't wait till my grandsons that are here start doing sports, because that will be fun to go watch them. That will be fun. All right. I didn't grab my sander, so let me get my sander. I'll probably need my glasses. And we're gonna sand these edges on our flowers. I did a door like this a few years back, and only I used this pattern that I have for these flowers is from one of my wood kits. I offer like a floral, like 3 sets of flowers, or 3 sizes of flowers, and you get 2 of each size. There's one that's a little bit bigger than this. Hey, Kimmery. Hi, Renee. How are you? How you been? And I used the wood ones on the door instead of doing them in cardboard. And I thought, well, that'd be fun to try it again and use cardboard. This is being stubborn, not wanting to sand off. So anybody got big plans for the weekend? Hi, Cindy. How are you today? The wind is blowing terribly here, but I think we're supposed to get up to like 80 degrees here in Iowa. Hi, Debbie. How are you? Very unusual for this time of the year for Iowa to be this warm. But I'm enjoying it. I have my windows open. But it's not going to last, unfortunately. I think tomorrow it's only going to be in the 70s, and we're supposed to get rain on Sunday. And it'll be back down into the 40s again. So I'm bummed. Hi, Natalie. Because I like this weather better. I don't like the cold. I don't like the cold at all. I wasn't made for cold. Not all of this doesn't need to be sanded, so I'm not going to do it all. And I'm going to wax these edges so we won't see all this white. It'll kind of hide. In fact, my husband was saying that some of our flowers are starting to come up in our backyard. We have we don't know what kind of flowers they are. I got them from my son, and they came with his house that they bought. He thinned them out. Whoever owned the home prior let these flowers get so, the flower bed that they were in were so full of them that he thinned them out, and he brought me some, and I don't know what they are. And he gave the neighbor man some. And the neighbor man didn't know either, but they're coming up, and then we have some other flowers that are called Snow on the Mountain. Snowy and icy for the weekend. Oh no, calling off. So do I, Glenda. I do like to use cardboard a lot. I do. You don't have it. Usually you have cardboard and you can cut it out of cardboard, right? That's what I think. So the snow on the mountain, and I asked him about my clematis because I have 2 clematis plants, and he said he didn't look at those. But I would imagine that they're starting to turn green too. Or coming up. But I don't know. I didn't go look. I went out a little while ago to sand a cabinet door that I'm going to do a project on. I was taking it out there, and my husband's going, he says, "What are you doing?" I says, "Well, I just thought I'd take this cabinet door on a field trip. Take it outside, bring it back in." It's like, where do you think I'm going with it? I'm going to the shop. Our shop is, we have to go out the back door and out to the back, outside to our shop, and I took it out there to sand it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this flower that I've cut, and we're going to kind of, let me see, I got a pencil here. I'm going to curl the ends. Yeah, it's like, where do you think? You bought one that's by your garage? A clematis, Mary? Yeah, I've got 2 of them, and they're out. Our shop is got a covered patio, and I planted 2 of them, and they grow. I'm just taking a pencil and rolling it to give it a curled, to curl up the edges of the petals, to give our flower, oh, I love clematis, to give our little flower some dimension is what I'm doing. I guess I should have told you that. Yeah, I've got a purple one and a pink one. And one of them, the flower looks like a bell. It's called a bell. In fact, it's called a bell clematis. And they grow. I have planted them in front of the posts that, you know, the covering. And they grow up. I put chicken wire around it so it'll vine up. And they both vine up and get so full and pretty. So I'm just kind of turning this so that the petals are kind of off. And we're going to kind of like that. So then my flower is going to have a little bit of dimension. And then we'll glue that in the center. And I don't like that this didn't come all the way off. It'll be all right, I think. So I'm going to do that to all of these. Hello, Loretta. Loretta. Sorry. Look like an E instead of an A. Sorry about that, Loretta. Well, welcome from Alabama. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to do this to all of them. My dogs, I had my front door open, and because I have the window open, the door behind me, and I have to close it when I go live because I never know when the mailman's going to come, because the dogs like to rush the door and bark. And yeah. And I don't want you guys to have to hear all that. They're so brave when the door is closed. If the door was open and they were there, they both would run the other direction. Hi, Shelly. They do that when they're in the backyard and somebody walks by. They'll run along the fence and bark. I told my husband, if those those people were to come into the yard, they both would make a beeline for the back door to get inside. That's how brave they are. Hi, Bonnie from Wyoming. Welcome. All right. And there might be an easier way to do this, but this is kind of how I learned how to do it. But I would say if you know of an easier way, I would. All right, so I've got all those. And I'm gonna offset those just like that. And I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue in the center. And we're gonna glue that down. And I should grab some buttons. And I'm gonna put some buttons in the center. But there's our little flower. Hello, Gloria. I have, I think in one of these, I'm trying to think. Not on there. I think in one of these I have some wooden ones and I can paint them. I have so many buttons, I don't know what I have. And I may have left them upstairs, but there's a few buttons in here that are wood that I can paint to kind of match our flowers. And that one. Let's see if I've got one more. There. And I'll paint those. For our centers. Hi, Rose. Hi, Shannon. How are you? How are you today? Move that out of the way. All right. Get this one glued on. I'm just putting a little dollop in the center. That one's glued, and we'll glue this one. There. And let's see, that really isn't the color I want. That should match. Or actually, I may just paint them all this yellow. So, I don't need that anymore. And we'll paint our bees at the same time. Oops. Got a little much there. That's okay. Oh, let's see if I can find a brush. I don't need a very big one. There we go. I have drawn a line on my bee to kind of, just as a guide. I'm not going to be very precise or perfect, but for the bee's little body and the bee's wings. And I'm going to paint these, and then I'm going to add the stripes after. So real quick, we will get these all painted. This should be a fun event. I love working with and seeing other creators use cardboard and the creative way, you know, the ways that ideas that they come up with cardboard. I think cardboard is a fun medium to work with. Like I said, and it's so accessible. You know, most people have a box or in their house, or my neighbor man brings me, he works for, well, he doesn't work, he volunteers for, it's called the Lord's Cupboard, and they provide food, you know, for people, and they'll get pallets of food, and it'll be on big sheets of cardboard, and he's brought me some of those to use for like when I do shipping certain items. I'll use cardboard, and he's brought some to me. He keeps me supplied in that, and he keeps me supplied in grocery bags. Plastic grocery bags make good. You don't want to spend a lot of money in bubble wrap. You can use grocery bags. Those plastic ones make great, or work great for shipping. All right, there we go. I am going to put this paint back. I don't like wasting paint. I don't know if comments quit working or if you guys are being quiet. I poured out way too much yellow paint. And I love this yellow. And it's a chalk paint too, and it's called Pineapple, and it's from Nicole with Afraid Not. She has her own chalk paint line. All right, we're going to paint the wings. I'm going to paint in vintage lace. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if my comments have quit working or what's going on. Hopefully you guys are talking to each other. Maybe. I'm gonna get some paint out of here. That's good. Let's see, use this brush again. And I don't know if you guys, the kids are out on the playground. I live across the street from a school, and I live on the playground side. So I don't know if you guys can hear them out there playing or not. I like that it's warm. I don't like that it's windy, but that's what's bringing in the warmth. Hi, Kefany. How are you? How are you today? right around there. Sorry guys, I'm concentrating. Mary, are you on today? I think I saw that you were going to fill in for somebody. Or did I just, or was that for something else? I didn't see, well, I saw the schedule, but I forgot. Hi, Nora. So do I. I'm good. Yeah, in his pictures, you got to see all of his artwork, did you? Yeah, me too, Debbie. I love it. I think it's great to hear him, you know, in the summertime, to have the windows open and hear the kids in the neighborhood outside playing. So many times, you know, kids don't even get outside. You're after me? Okay, I thought so, but I wasn't positive. I thought you were on today. But I just love it. Hearing them, you know, out there playing and enjoying themselves. And I just love it. So I've got this brush. It's not, this might be too wide. Let me see if I got one that's a little bit. If not, I'll make it work. That one's a little narrower. So I've got this just kind of short, kind of a flat paintbrush. And I'm using Coffee Bean, and it's Dixie Belle. It's kind of a brownish black. And I'm just gonna put a little bit on this brush. It should be dry. And I'm just gonna freehand these stripes for our bee. And one little stroke here. And I don't mind that it's not just like that. I don't mind that it looks like that. So there's our little stripes for our bee. And we'll give this one little stripes. And these are not perfect. All right. So there's our little bees all done up, and I'll let that dry. Yeah, I do enjoy that, Glenda. I really do. I think it's good to hear them out there playing. There's some kind of an after-school program that they have here that is there too every day after school, and the kids have been out there every day this week playing football. So, hey Sandra, how are you? Okay, I'm gonna dry these real quick and give them a quick sand. I've got 15 minutes. Okay, I had to look, I had to think. What time did I go on? How much more time do I have? Okay. And actually, I still needed that because we got to give our little bees an eye. So real quick, like, I'm going to take the end of a paintbrush here. That one's a little smaller. I'm just going to take the back of my paintbrush, and we're going to give my bee, give him just a little eye. There we go. I'm not real good with faces or eyes or anything, so I do whatever's easy. Thank you for sprinkling. I'm doing good. Only a can't, for some reason, this lid is not wanting to go back on. Right. Well, I better move that or I'm going to smear black paint everywhere. There we go. All right. So, doggone it. I should have sanded it first. That's okay. Oh, yeah, Sonia, how nice, huh? I really do love it. My husband, well, he don't mind the playing part of it, but it's when the girls scream, that blood-curdling scream, that he can't handle that part of it. So I'm just going to sand these and give them a little bit of distressing. I'm going to try really hard because even though I've dried the eye on these, there's quite a bit of paint. So I'm going to try not to smear that. Otherwise, he don't mind it either. Even when our kids would do that blood-curdling scream, he didn't like it. It hurts his ears or something, he says. All right, gave them a little bit of distress, and we will wax these. I'm not going to distress those. So we're going to bring our door back, and we're going to get it hopefully close to getting it all put together. But let's put our buttons, get my wax here real quick, and I'm going to kind of hit these flowers with some wax. And I'm just using my Bare Dark wax. And the flowers and stuff real quick. Oops. I'm going to hit these edges where that white is. You would not have to do this. This is preference. I like using wax and give it some age and distressing. And hit the little button just a little bit, and I'm going to glue that in the center. Oh. Got a little carried away with the glue there. Let me see if I can find my little thing here and see if I can get that off of there. There we go. Big old glob came out. I didn't mean. So there's one little flower. And hey, Sheila, how are you? I'm gonna try and hurry. I probably won't do much wax on the door right now. I'll probably wait till off camera so I can maybe get this put together. I'm just gonna put, hopefully, just a little bit Come on. There. That was better. Real quick. I thought I'd got enough done. You know, you think you get enough prep and then, ow. Okay, so I have this piece of fabric, and this is gonna be part of our hanger. And it's got that little blue flower in it. I've had this fabric forever. I have no idea where I got it from. I've had it in my stash for many years. And so I don't know where it's from. I believe it's probably from Walmart, because I bought it when I was crafting many years ago when I started crafting, and that was about the only place I could get fabric at the time where we lived, was Walmart. So I'm just gonna kind of lay these out like this in a little cluster. And we're gonna, okay, I got 5 minutes. See if I can get this much done. I'm gonna put this little string, like a little string, like it's a little hanger. Just like that. So I'm gonna attach this. And then we'll do this one. All right, let's see how I had that again. All right. I had it all laid out earlier, and of course you got to move it to do your other stuff. And I tried to get it laid back out the way I originally had it. Of course, you never do. And I may add some greenery to this, you know, to kind of fill it in. I have some baby's breath and some other little greenery just to kind of fill in around it, to make it kind of look like a little floral, like a wreath, a floral wreath, I guess, is what I'm going for. So that's what we have so far. And I will glue this to the back, but I'm gonna add a bow up here, just, you know, so it just doesn't look like that. But then I'm gonna take these little bees and I'm gonna put them on some wire. I've got some rusty wire, and I'm gonna, let's see, got a couple minutes, maybe I can real quick. And I think I can just add a little glue and stick it right in this cardboard. Let that dry. Make sure here, and I'm going to do the same. Maybe. The only thing for whatever reason, this glue gun, I don't use it I haven't been using it, but let me see if I can find a little spot here to shove that in, just like that. And I maybe made it too long, but that's okay. It looks okay. Wait till it dries. Okay, now it's dry. Just like that. And I'll put one on the other side, the other one on the other side. And I may add some little wire, little antennas to them. I'm not sure yet, onto the back. But I won't make this one quite as long. But anyway, guys, I will finish it. I will take a picture. I will post it. But you guys stick around at Craft Around the Clock and see Miss Mary, because she's up next. And you guys have a wonderful, blessed rest of your day. Thank you very, very much, guys.